Hello everyone. Today's topic, how to price your services to make a profit. That is what we are talking about today. I hope you're well today. Give me a hello in the comments if you're tuning in. Let me know you are here. How to set your prices. First off, I want to be really clear. Do not worry about your competitors. You have no idea what profit they make. You have no idea truly how financially successful their business is. You get to see things from a shiny Instagram perspective, and you have no real, true idea what their financial situation is. I was speaking to somebody the other day who had this assumption that this guru entrepreneur that they knew, this famous person that they knew, was making a lot of money in their business, was running a financially successful business. Now, I knew a bit behind the scenes of this business, and they were very, very far away from running a financially successful business. This person that I spoke to was saying how they want to model their business on this person's business. And that would have been a really, really bad idea. Now, in this instance, I actually did know about this person's business finances and knew that that was going to be a really, really bad idea. I didn't, of course, disclose how I knew that might not be a good plan, because that's never going to be the thing that I would do. But I made it clear that perhaps they maybe want to not focus on that and not basically copy what this competitor was doing, because it wouldn't be a route that served them and served their business in the way that they wanted. It wouldn't get them the results that they actually wanted to get from their business. So I highly, highly recommend that you do not worry about competition. You do not try and emulate anything that your perceived competitors are doing, because in reality, you have no idea what their financial situation is. You might see them throwing money around and those kinds of things, but you have no idea if that money's come from their business or other sources of money that they may have, whether that is a partner, whether that is an inheritance, whether that is because they've sold their house to fund this business. You have no idea. So please, 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 please do not try and emulate other businesses and business owners that you have seen, because I promise you, it is not going to lead you to where you want to be. So that is my massive, massive caveat when I speak about how to set your prices and where to sort of begin and not begin when you are thinking about pricing. What I do want you to do is I want you to think about you and what you want to achieve and what you want to earn and what you want to get out of running your business. Don't want you to worry about anybody else. So this session, we're going to speak about you, where you are with your business and what you want to achieve from that business, okay? That is our focus for this session. So, what do you want to earn per month from your business? How many people do you want to serve in a month? These are things that you need to be clear on before you can even begin thinking about actually how much you charge each individual person. Because if you are not clear on how many people you need to serve and what that means to you and what that looks like and how many hours in the day you have to work or any of that stuff, then you're not going to be setting your prices even close to where they might need to be. What do you want to earn a month in your business? What do you want what you want you to earn, I want you to think about your take home. What do you want your take home to be per month from your business? Where does that need to be? And then I want you to double it, because that is the revenue target that you're now setting for bringing in your business. Double what you want to take home as the owner. If there are two of you, if you've got in a partnership, you double what you want to take home together. Double the take home to get the revenue is a really good starting point for setting yourself a revenue goal and a revenue target in your business. And then once you've got that revenue goal and revenue target, you say, okay, so when I look at my calendar, how many people can I service? What does that look like to me? How many can I work with at any one point in time to achieve this goal? Remembering that when you're thinking about that a huge amount of your time will not be in client delivery typically. Typically, you'll have lots of other things to do when it comes to your business. You'll have the finances and the banking. You'll have the marketing and the sales. You will have the content creation. You will have managing team members. You will have recruiting team. You will have loads and loads of other things that go into running a business that is not service delivery. Typically, we say to people to estimate their service delivery at around about 20% of their working week. And I know to most people that sounds crazily low, but that is what you need to start thinking about when you are thinking about growing a business, because you need to get all these other pieces in place as well. So if you work with that, and you say, okay, so this is how much I need to have as my income, as my personal income. I double it. This is how much I need as my revenue. And then these are how many hours I'm going to be doing delivery to my clients for my services. You divide one by the other to get what you need to be charging every individual, every person per month in your business to hit your revenue target. Most people do this and it's much higher than they thought. And they panic a little bit and feel all the feelings. And it's a bit of a worry because they think, how on earth can I do that? How can I charge this price? And so if that's you, I want you to look at your value that you provide your clients and make sure that your value is then aligned to that price. The value that you give needs to be aligned to your price point. You, in fact, need to be giving more value than people are paying in your price point, ideally, but they do need to be combined. So if you work out that number, about what you need to be earning per client per month and bringing in to hit what you want to hit as your take home, then asking yourself, do I deliver at that level? Is my value at that level to my customers or clients? And again, getting really clear on that, listing out what your value is, listing out what the value you provide is to your customers and clients is going to help you understand whether that pricing is going to work for you. And if it's not, then you need to be reassessing the value, because that's the number you need to make. You've got the number you need to charge. You need to work out how to stack the value in to support that if it is not already supporting it just now. Okay? So that's the other thing we want to do. While you're doing this, I want to bear in mind that when you're thinking about your pricing, you want to price based on the people you want to work with, who you want to attract. Because you will get, for example, established business owners who will not want to pay cheapest chips prices for things because they will assume the quality is terrible. I was looking into working with a coach last year, and I looked at her, and it was somebody I'd seen around the internet, and I was a bit of a fan of their content and things. I inquired about their prices, and I thought, oh, okay, well, they clearly can't be as good as they're making out, because they're way too cheap. They're much cheaper than I'd expected. And so people will feel that way if you are lowballing prices and you're going after experienced business owners. Now, if you're going after startups or something like that, maybe the thought process is different for them, but you need to align who you want to attract as well at the same time, and aligning your prices with that buyer and that buyer's mindset. So keeping that in mind as you're coming to terms with this number that you've come up with, and you're coming to terms with the value, you also need to come to terms with the type of client that would pay you at that price level as well, and how you serve them, and how do you serve them the best. So that needs to be kept in mind. Now, what I also want you to do is I want you to also make sure that you're going to be profitable at this price point. I want you to layer in what your costs are. What is your cost of delivery for this service that you're providing? Now, remembering to layer in things like Stripe costs, support from virtual assistants, ad spend, tax, all those things, but fully layering in the actual cost of delivery and comparing that with the price point you've chosen. Comparing that with the price point you have selected, because at the end of the day, it's your business and you get to choose the price point. This is a price point you have chosen, and that is completely okay. That is completely allowed, but we want to just do this double check to make sure that it will be profitable. Because remember, your time is involved as well. think about that as well when you're thinking about the cost of delivery, that the costs are not necessarily purely financial. There are other costs associated with that as well. Okay, so comparing that, the cost of delivery, with the amount that you've worked out. I want you to go out to the market and test it. Try it out. See how it works. That's the truly the only way you can establish if your pricing is in the right place, is actually going to the market and testing it and seeing. And a test doesn't mean asking one person or two people or even 5 people or possibly even 10 people or possibly even 20 people. It means speaking to a lot of people and getting yeses or nos for them to come on board and work with you. And if they give no's, don't assume it's price-based. It might be that your positioning is wrong with the market. It might be that they don't see the value. You've not shown them the value, even though the value is there. So do not, when you get no's, automatically assume that the no is a result of your price, because it's probably not. And sometimes even when people tell you that the no is because of your price, it's not. Because that's a really easy excuse. It's really easy for somebody to say, no, sorry, it's too expensive. When in actual fact, they just didn't feel aligned with you. They didn't feel like you could provide them value. They didn't feel like they liked what you had to offer. It's much easier to say to somebody, no, sorry, you're too expensive, because usually you don't get any pushback on that excuse, on that reason, and therefore people default to it. So even if people are telling you you're too expensive, be very careful about whether or not that is actually the case in reality, because it may very well not be. Okay? So essentially, that is how you price for profit. You don't worry about your competition, because there is no one that is competition. No one has the same values, the same expertise, the same background, the same history. No one has any of that the same as you. And remember, you have no idea what profit your competitor is making anyway, and you could just be chasing them to bankruptcy very, very quickly. So do not worry about that. What you do want to do is you want to work out what you want to take home, and then double it to get your revenue target and work from there. How many people do you want to serve in a month? What does that look like for you? Bearing in mind, a lot of your time needs to be spent doing other things in your business other than just delivery. And then comparing that number to the cost of delivery to make sure you're profitable, make sure that you've not gone wonky with that pricing. Assessing the value, making sure the value is layered in, making sure it's at the right place to attract the type of person that you want to work with, the type of person you get results for, the type of person that you can give most value to, and then test. Speaking to the market, going out there and assessing if that is the right price point for you. And if people start buying, then maybe it's too low. Maybe you need to increase your prices, but that is something that I highly recommend, is that you review your prices regularly, at least quarterly, in your business to assess whether they are in the right place or not. So thanks again. I know your time is incredibly precious, so thank you for spending some of it with me, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care, everyone.